Hey man, I'm actually doing a hell of a lot better, except that my rib is killing me. But I hope you're well too. Excuse me. There is a little bit of gunk left in here, but the gunk itself is mostly gone. I feel pretty darn good, so I am. I'm actually kind of happy. I took a look at a house today after work. Don't know if I'm going to be able to swing it, as the moving costs will definitely keep me on my schedule of getting out somewhere around late July. And it's a nice little place in a really nice community, so I don't know for sure if it's going to be something I'll be able to get, but I'd really love to. Oh, hi there, Hoppy. How you doing, buddy? And he's back and happy. Look at this big tall kitty. You're just a big tall kitty. You want to get up here, buddy? Yeah, what a good boy. What a good boy. Come on, Hoppy. Come on. You can. You can get up. You just want to watch me play guitar? From afar? I can do that too. No house. I've lived in a house too long to live in an apartment. I can't do it. I have too much stuff. And I can't just get an apartment and then get like a like a kitty. I can't just get an apartment and get a storage unit. It just wouldn't work for me. I just, give me a house. Give me a place to set up my stuff. A place to stream. A place to write music. Look, if this one falls through, there will be others. But this is a real nice neighborhood. A really, really nice neighborhood. So, just gorgeous. The house itself is pretty good too. It would, like I said, the moving expenses is the only thing that's kind of keeping me from saying, yeah, I want it now. Because I can't get it right now. But if I wait a couple of months, it should be fine. Anyway, let's see here. Move that over. There we go. That's better. It keeps me out of the way and keeps me playing. Oh, what a good boy. What a good boy. I'm just going to have to pet this cat today, I think. He's being such a sweet baby. He's coming with me, You know what? I'll just do a lot of left-handed stuff and let this cat get some pets. I need the warm-up anyway. Well, I don't like playing loud anyway. But what I consider loud and what the wife considers loud is two different things. So, right. Introducing volume like this is not loud. This is about as loud as I'm talking. So that's not very loud at all, but there would be complaints. So. What a fine kitty. He's just going to be a good old buddy tonight. I can tell. Probably wants a little more pet time than playtime. And he's been sick lately, too, and he seems to be getting over it pretty well right now. He's getting back to his old self. Very happy about that. Let's put this over here for you, buddy. All right. So. Oh. Who can play with a cat this affectionate? Oh. You'd have to be pretty freaking heartless, I think, so. But I haven't been working on anything lately. I'm a little, sorry about that. With the exception of the King Diamond thing that I streamed the last time. We could talk about the melodies to that, I guess, this time. It's pretty simple overall. What a good kitty. So I can play that with my left hand, or I guess my right hand. Just know that is what we're playing there. Oops. You can tell how often I play like this, but I don't. So here we go. Starting with D, let's go ahead and play the main melody of it. Nice vibrato in there. Of course, this is on an acoustic, and it would be much more difficult to do this on an acoustic guitar. Wow, my rib is killing me. It helps, doesn't it? Doesn't it help? Oh, well, it certainly does with me. It really helps solidify it in your head. So, good evening. Good evening to you too, Edward. So, how for art thou, Mr. Nugent II, Junior, whether. So, then you play the melody on guitar. From the melody, you figured out the chords. Yes. It's the way to go. If you come up with chords that you don't know, it's best to try to hear each note individually. Try to pick those out. But we don't train anymore to listen polyphonically. I mean, not really. We kind of do, but we don't. It's not something our ears are really accustomed to. Most of the stuff that we listen to nowadays has a lot of and there's a lot of self-same melodies going on in a lot of the stuff that is modern. I use modern loosely, but so those are kind of easy to figure out. There's going to be a lot of similarities to it, but we don't listen to polyphonic music anymore. That whole, and I've dug this up 1,000 times, but that kind of thing, we don't really hear melodies doing that nowadays. It's just this whole counterpoint or contrapunctual deal is just not our thing. So we don't really allow ourselves to do some sort of deep in-depth analysis of stuff where we're listening to two separate notes at the same time, or picking out individual notes for each individual component going in a chord, going this goes here, this goes here, this is up, this is down, and so forth. It would be a big help. And it kind of is a big help. So, doing this, for instance, excuse me, if I can actually hit the whole chord. So you have a root 5 and a third. So. This is simple stuff, but the general idea would be to listen to one note go up, the other note go down, which would be like this. That kind of thing. But doing exactly what you did is a very, very good way of figuring that stuff out. So let's try headphones on, paying attention to the song, and play a note or chord that doesn't fit the song and sticks out. Very easy to tell. Exactly. Very, very easy to tell. especially if you're just one note off, and most of the time you're going to be only one note off. Like, if you have a general sense of where things are, it's a very helpful thing. Like, you hear, you might be able to just pick that out very quickly and go, oh yeah. Or you might have to, no, yeah, no. And then find out it's really close and it sounds terrible, like, it's just a little off. Excuse me. You'll figure that out very, very quickly, and just shift by one note and see where it takes you. If it's more off, then don't do it. If it's less off, that's the one. So, it's almost like playing a game of hot and cold sometimes. Ah, you're hot. Ah, you're red hot, Doc. Yeah, good. Back to the melody thing. D, E, F sharp, D sharp, back to E, I'm sorry, D flat, and E, back to D flat again. Then it's D flat to D. The next one, so up. You can play it this way if you like. The next one just goes straight up. Actually, I'm sorry. It goes up to the F sharp. Back to D. D flat. E. D flat. D flat. E. D. Like so. Then it goes straight up. So that's pretty easy. The melody played slightly differently at the very end is basically done in octaves. But the same notes. That's it. And it ends with this nice, which I didn't cover the last week, which is kind of a little different here. How did that go? How did that go? Ah, here. No. That's it right there. Something like that. Because of the way it's tuned. It should be, but it's not. That's E. Flat. Something like that. No. Slightly off. Sorry about all that. You don't know King Diamond at all. Well, you need to learn. You need to learn King Diamond. That's a one that I think a lot of people should pick up on. King Diamond has some of the most classic riffs of all time. Some really great guitar parts. Some of them are easy. Some of them are challenging. And all of the leads are challenging. They all have their things. So don't worry about Meatloaf, Mudvayne, Nine Inch Nails. I don't listen to any of that, but you should listen to King Diamond. So I have no idea about Blitzkrieg, unless it's the Metallica, Yeah, excuse me. Ah. Aha. But yeah, King Diamond Blitzkrieg 2. I think the song Blitzkrieg is great. But yeah, King Diamond is one of my favorites of all time. Look, Andy LaRock, Pete Black are my all-time pretty well favorite players. Herb Simonson plays amazing when he does on the some of the later works, and there's a guy in there named Mike Weed now who I think is also in Merciful Fate, but I'm not the biggest fan. He does okay. I think he does really fine. He's got good vibrato, but there's something about it that just doesn't hit home with me as being the right player for the gig, because it should be me. Sorry, King. I know you don't listen to my streams, but if you did, you might want to give a brother a chance one of these days. Broken rib and all. We'll be okay. Have you heard my covers? Come on. But I mean, with riffs like this, actually, it would start in A. And leads like, excuse me. How did that go? No. That's it. Oh yeah. Am I playing that right? No. I haven't done it since Halloween. But anyway, yeah, my baby boy. Right here. You can't really see if he's right there. It's very important to point. Yeah, it's right there. He's my baby. And I love him so much. He's been with me now for 6 years, which is really weird to me. I think he actually came here 6 years ago this month. It's just a 1 week old baby. Before he even had his eyes open. Before you know it, I'm in there visiting him when he's just a few weeks old and with his eyes open, and we just got along. Well, we couldn't let him go, so that's that. Foster cat turned to forever home. He's my boy. I am lucky enough, and I mean, I'm really lucky in this respect that I have 3 cats that really, really like me. So, if a cat really loves you, man, that's a special, special thing. Most of them just don't, care. Maybe let you pet them as long as you feed them, it's okay. But to have a cat that really digs you, that's some special stuff. But yeah, King Diamond, man, they've got some amazing, amazing things. And I've played this 1,000 times. I mean, you've heard all that. Great riffs. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that can. They're always in E standard. For King Diamond, that is. Always E standard. They do a lot of unusual things, though. There's this, let's see, riff in the middle. No. That's right. Yeah. Dude, sweet. It's a special thing, man. It really is. That kind of a bond, to have their trust, to have their affection. That's some good stuff. Right on, dude. Well done. Yeah, we have a dog too, but man, I'm a cat dude all over the place. So, yeah, that what I was just playing is off of a song called T-E-A. I was doing a thing around Halloween the other year with this. Let's see if I can remember how to play it. No. That's it. So they they've got all sorts of stuff that's really kind of remarkable. Let's see, what's one? Oh no. All right. How do they go? Ah. It's been a while. That's it. So I'll try that again. Come on. Oh no. It's B, yes. Do I give lessons? I'm kind of sort of giving a music appreciation lesson now. Lessons, yeah, I can kind of square away some, but if you want something in particular, it'll cost you. But let's see if I can get the string skipping thing going tonight. Which is not exactly going great. Oh, come on, Zuhair. Stop retracting messages. It makes you look more catty than you already are. Let's try that, okay? Try this. This is essentially, you can go up any scale you like. Let's do C major just as a fun why not. So that's G, F, and G, F, E, D, and then C, and then B. So all the way down from the 5th to the 7th. Jump up a 9th, so jump an octave plus 1s from that B to the C right there. So, and go down the same kind of path. So C, B, just like down here, A, G, F, E. Fine. We'll go up one more. F, E, or excuse me, yes, F, E, D, then C, B, A. Excuse me. And then end that way. Let's try that one more time. Excuse me. Something like that. Fun. Can be fun. If you wanted to end it more quickly, take it down an octave. Why not? Fun stuff. So many virtual digital pianos online. You downloaded one, Virtual Piano, from the Microsoft Store. If you wanted to play piano, you get a MIDI controller or piano keyboard for the computer. I started out, let me set this down and I'll show you what I have. I started out with a Motu, I think, little 66 key keyboard, or maybe it was 44. Excuse me. And that worked pretty well for me until it stopped working. So it was time to get a new keyboard dash controller. And so I got one. This one. from M Audio. And I'll tell you what, that lasted about 3 weeks. And then the computer, which still picks up the MIDI connection and still displays, I had to troubleshoot the shit out of this. It still displayed a MIDI connection. Absolutely said, yeah, you're getting MIDI input, absolutely. And every DAW that I tried it on, yeah, it's kind of a keyboard, but it's a MIDI controller. Every DAW that I tried it in basically said, yeah, there's no MIDI input here. Even though I configured everything and I went through all the tutorials and stuff like that, apparently there's a lot of problems with that. So for a $250 keyboard, I got 3 weeks out of it. And I'm really pissed about that. So I bought myself a little Nectar 25 key keyboard that I don't like to play. And it's here. Why don't I like to play it? Because the keys are really small. Yeah, I could totally do that. Give me a second. We'll go through some. But I could recommend Nectar because these things don't stop working. Now, if you can get a more full-sized version of this, do that. Because this is too small for me. I don't like how tiny and compact it is. I should, to some degree, like how tiny and compact it is. But I don't. I want keys that are keys. And I learned that after I purchased this. But these don't stop working. This thing is fail-proof. It works great. It's got great drivers, great driver support for Windows. Probably Mac too. But you can tell how dusty it is because I just after I got it, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to bother with it. So, oh, see ya, Hopper. All right, so let's get in here. Let's go to Amazon.com, shall we? I'm going to talk like this for just a little bit, all right? So you haven't learned the pentatonic scale. Okay, well, give me a second, and I'm going to get on the pentatonic scale once I find a keyboard for Zuhair here. Nectar. Nectar's great. I'm unbeatable as far as I'm concerned for one simple thing and one simple thing alone. And that's the driver support. They just work. But, so let's see. I would just look for MIDI controller, keyboard, or USB keyboard. MIDI interface control MIDI keyboard. There we go. And here we are here as screen share. And here we go. So, pardon me. Nectar good. Let's try to get something that's keyboarded like. There you go. Have at it, Chief. If I were to do it again, I'd do this. If it isn't compact, if it is, that's a problem, but 61 keys looks good. I would do that. I might even after I move. So let's get to the pentatonic scale, shall we? Oh, look, isn't that lovely? Arizona, here I come in 2 years. Seems how you want to learn this. I'll get a guitar on that actually has dots because that's fair, isn't it? So here we go. Everybody likes fret dots. I still want to play an Ibanez, so let's grab one. I haven't played Baba Bluey in a while. He's kind of dusty. And turn that off. There we go. Sorry. Put my lunch in the sink. Sorry about the clashing here. But, you know, sometimes you gotta clash. Not the music. That music sucks. So, alright, grabbing a guitar pick. And let's start out here. So, when most people learn the pentatonic scale, they learn it in one of two positions. And most of the time, let's see, I don't know if I can tell you when I talk too much, might be narcissistic and like attention. So, talking less today, okay, well, yes, sir, all right, so be it. But as far as narcissism goes, man, is it vulnerable narcissism? Because that's the scary one. So, anyway, since when do I have this guitar? Oh, I've had this for a few years now. But yeah, I've played this in a few videos too. I'm kind of surprised you didn't notice it. But anyway, this one is, I call it Baba Bluey. My friend Chris named it that. because Baba Bluey. That's why. But it's the I can't think of it. The 3XXV. That's also what it says back here. So it's a few years old, but I've replaced a few things. The same pickup. The DiMarzio chopper is a good neck pickup. There's no reason to change it. But I did change it to a blue cover that actually matched really, really well this Guitar Head's bridge pickup. So that's that. So I blued it out just a little bit more. And I was considering blue. Oh, and maybe I should also consider taking the tremolo off of here. I still need to get a new arm for the guitar I was playing, the S series behind me. But I haven't done that yet. So I had to get one for this one too. And I'm thinking, wow. So it's not bad. It's a good guitar. We can do Satriani licks that are kind of fun, but... Oh, Blue Mox! What's up? Type of thing. So, no, I got work and shit. Hey, I got one up on you, though. How about work, shit, and divorce? Try that one. So... Good times. Not really. Somewhat. Let's work on that pentatonic. So what is a pentatonic scale, right? Pentatonic means basically 5 tone. Penta, 5, tonic, tone, right? So you have 5 tones to play with. Now, when somebody refers to the, yeah, right, well, it is funny now, but it wasn't a couple of weeks ago when it was actually, just starting. But I look back and I'm like, yep, new lifetime. So there we go. I get to play more, so I guess that'll be fun. But... and I get to play at this volume, which isn't that loud, really. And maybe even hit wrong notes. It'll be a real good time. What I was saying, though, is on the pentatonic scale, the one that everybody talks about as being the pentatonic scale, and there's 5 of them for this particular one, but whenever somebody says pentatonic, you can pretty much take to the bank that they're talking about pentatonic minor. But there are 5 pentatonic scales in this particular commonly phrased Western pentatonic scale. There are other pentatonic scales, so any combination of 5 notes between an octave can be considered a pentatonic scale. So I can just go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is very similar to the Japanese. 5 notes, right? So, yeah, dude, I understand. Oh, it's pentatonic scale, good subject, or divorce, good subject. So, yeah, you missed the other week when I was actually really talking about it. Like, hey, here's what's been going on and what you can expect. So, anyway, going on with the subject of pentatonic. The thing that most people are really talking about is the pentatonic minor scale. And almost every single person who does that, oh yeah, there's all sorts of them out there. There's like Palog, that's pentatonic. I think that's the type of deal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, repeat. So, which is kind of nuts. Which that wouldn't be it then. That would. Right there. You're going to go there anyway, so... I haven't played that one in years, but and I think I'm right. So, but there's octonic scales like 8-tone. Enigmatic is one of those. Most of the stuff we play is just septonic, which is 7-tone. They call it diatonic, but that's just divided tone, and that's a funny way of saying, hey, you can divide up a string and get different intervals out of it, but. See what I mean? But 3 and the 5 while doing pentatonic. You mean like this? That kind of thing? Well, I've always said that I like cheap pickups. Guitar heads are relatively inexpensive. These are just the Hexbuckers. And they are a very, very good substitute for a more expensive Super Distortion from DiMarzio. They sound a lot like them, but they have a more classic rhythm sound, in my opinion. As far as the lead sound is concerned, good stuff. As I was saying, pentatonic, 5-tone, commonly referred to most parlance. If somebody says, oh, just play pentatonic over it, they're talking about this one. All right, simply put, you're going to be skipping a few notes, and you're going to be landing on a few notes. So, oh, that's okay. That's okay. Take a look at this, the slow learning thing. Everybody learns at their own pace. Everybody... I think there was a bug on my neck. Ah! That would be funny if there wasn't and I was just slapping myself for no reason. Ah. Don't drug test. No. Drug test me, by all means. But everybody learns at their own pace. Everybody has a different style of learning. Most of the time, I find, for me, I learn by analogy best. And if I can understand how things are connected and the whys and wherefores of it, then I can understand what I'm trying to do better and then apply it. The one thing that I was really bad at learning was music theory, besides math. And music theory, to me, it didn't follow a lot of logic because, in my opinion, it wasn't explained to me right. Once it clicked, it just clicked. I got it. I understood it. And once I understood it, then, or at least what I was being tried to be taught, then I could, put it in my own words and, introduce it to other people how I would have understood it better, and maybe that'll help them. So the thing about pentatonic here, and most people, like I said, learn it in A. That precludes that you're learning a lot of things in A. Like, we're all going to be playing this. Type of thing. And so that works really, really well. I'm just goofing, but you know what I mean. So... That's why it's important to learn different positions. But pentatonic minor is the one that you're going to be learning the most, because this is the one that's going to be 1, a 3, a 4, and a 5 from the minor scale. Yes, but it would be best to learn it as 1 flat 3, so a minor third. And that has the shape of skip 2 frets when playing it linearly across a string. So first minor third, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, flat 7 octave. Now, the reason why they're called what they're called isn't so much important at this point in your playing. If you're just learning pentatonic and you don't know any diatonic scales or anything like that, let's not really expand on why those are called what they're called. But it's most important for you to understand where they are relationally in shapes. So if I say a minor third is skip 2 frets, that's great. Learn that. Good. Also know that 5 frets apart on the next string is the same note. So if I said there's your C, well, there's a C here as well, which means that note also is going to be in it. So, oh, well, thank you. Or to Blue Mox as well. I'm glad he's a good teacher. I'm going to try my best to help out, though. So... And you can put little bends in there if you want. Don't just play it straight. Because if you did it like that, it's just, all right, you're learning the notes. But you can do so much more with just those 3 notes. That first, the minor third, and the fourth. That sounds very familiar. Maybe if we made that major. So, oh, yeah. Good, sir. But this sounds familiar. Maybe if we continued on that. No? Yeah, well, yeah, type of deal. So I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go, but I've heard it before. Yeah. And it's Zeppelin. But this, just 3 notes, and you've opened up a huge amount of doors. If you're familiar with the concept of octaves, same note just played in a different location, higher pitch maybe, or lower pitch if you're starting from above. You can take those 3 notes and play them 1 octave higher, and they'll be the same because they're also included in the scale. Go an octave higher. They're there. So, didn't mean to yell, but that's essentially what it is. So, the ease in which I say this is a minor third, this is a perfect fourth, you want to develop that. Well, okay, so a lot of it is rote memorization at first before you really kind of get the, understanding. I've got something here that I might be able to pull up. And there are other terms for this besides perfect and all this kind of stuff, but it's a good thing to know. Just let me see if I can find it real quick. And no. Perhaps. Yeah. Okay. So these are the kind of things we can talk about here, being like different words for the same type of thing in a major scale. Try this. So let's go one. There we go. There we go. And that looks like it kind of collapsed upon itself, but essentially that's it. I think it's a necessary deal right there. Very well. So go to channel. Let's do it. Oh yeah, I've heard this guy. He is good. He's quite good. So I have everything for him and nothing against him. Sorry, I didn't immediately recognize that you were the fellow Jackson owner today. I've had my mind on other things, like getting a house. Because I'm not joking about the divorce. I wish I was, but I'm not. It wasn't my idea. But no, he is really great. He's a very good guitar player, very competent guitar player. So let's talk a little bit about what these things are. This is basically for a major scale, but it can be applied to all sorts of stuff. So we've got a first, which is the tonic, the second, which is the supertonic, the fourth, which is the median, the third, which is the median, the fourth, which is the subdominant, the fifth, which is the dominant, the submedian, the leading tone, and the octave. What does all that mean? Memorize it, and we'll come back to it another time. So, and then the meanings will start to kind of, pop out and go, you'll go like, oh, I understand. The chords that are associated with all these are pretty easy. Let me go ahead and pop some of these into the chat. Blap. What you'll get out of it, if you're in the key of C, for instance. Major. That's your first. That's built off the tonic, or the tone that's generally set here. Minor. And these are just the triads that are built off of it. So you can do it chordally speaking as well. So, and so on. And those so-ons are here. Yeah, go make coffee. Have a good time. I'll get back to the pentatonic in a second. But it's relevant to what I'm doing right here. And somebody just emailed me, and I'm wondering if it's about a his owl. I did look at one today. like I was mentioning earlier, I do wish very much that I could get this thing, but I am not sure that I can in the amount of time I may have to be able to acquire it. But these are just basic things, and things to familiarize yourself with as far as the notes are concerned. You know. We should technically go a little farther with this because this major dominant. So dominant here would be that kind of thing. It's important to include the sevenths, which I did not, and I should have. But life goes on, I guess. So and then down to D, B, D, F. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I'm going to try not to, dwell on it too terribly much on the streams. I already did that one time, and that was enough. But it is something that if you didn't know, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So, but like I said, I'll get to play more. Hey, and I might have to sell a few more guitars. Although I have the space for them now if I get the house that I'm looking at. So, going on with the story, let's talk pentatonic, though. So these three notes, they're all in there. Again, that's A, C, and D. You can play it all sorts of different ways. And the reason why I'm going through it with just three notes right now, before I add the next two, is to show you how much you can get out of just those three notes. You know, in fact, very similar to like Rock You Like a Hurricane, right? So, going on with the neat stories that we're telling here, let's go ahead and add another note, a fourth note. Let's add the fifth, which is the fourth note here of pentatonic. So what's a fifth? As explained in the post above, it's your dominant. Why is it dominant? It's the one that wants to go home most if you build a chord off of it. So this, where it wants to resolve here, the most. All the notes are one note away from the resolution of the tonic. So that's it's all right there. That's why they call it dominant. But going through a divorce, it's not fun. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. You already said that. So let's throw in the fifth. The fifth, which is an interval. The fifth interval, the perfect fifth. So first, minor third, fourth, fifth. String and fret, sure. Low E string will be your 5th fret and 8th fret. The A string, the one right next to it, of course, will be your 5th fret and your 7th fret. So I want you to kind of start thinking of these as a shape unto themselves. What do these things look like if they were kind of a box, okay? So you got a little bit of an extra like roof line on here, and then just kind of squares up on these two dots. Is another way of doing it. That's same fret you'd start on, A, 5th fret, low E string. You could also do the 3rd fret, which is what I've been doing all this whole time with it. So this, 5th fret, low E, 3rd fret, A, 5th fret, A, 7th fret, A. Or, as we did it before with the 8th fret, one octave higher. Now I want you to figure out the octave thing. It's the same note, played in a different location. You can also do it 12 frets higher. Maybe the right one. My intonation may be out just a hair, but still. That means all these notes will be the same in those locations. Starting point. Good times. Now, then we got a little thing called the flat 7 coming up. And the flat 7 would be the 5th fret, D string. And that would be the 7th fret on the D string as well. Now, if you caught on to this octave idea, this is an octave of that note, which is an octave of that note. It's the same note, just in a different location. That means this note can be played there, because this is right there. Oh, look, there's an E in there, too. That's an E. That's an E. Maybe we can play it. Fun stuff. The best part about it is, besides Folgers in your cup, you know, when you're waking up to these musical ideas, the best part of this thing is figuring these kind of things out. When you're just kind of, all right, I got that. And it's all the same scale. Let's see, is there a D in there? Yeah. Yeah, short version of what you missed. Octaves are your friend. When you learn notes, find them in other places that they exist also. Yeah. So this right here is the end of that journey, but it's also the beginning, because you've reached the tonic, the tone, the root is returned right there. So A. So from there, we can take it up even further and find the next minor third, because there's an octave there. Find the next note. In fact, that looks a whole lot like this. Okay. So that's next. We'll find an A, or an E, excuse me. That's an A, an E. All pentatonic, all those same notes, that's all I'm playing. So this is the next thing, because that is the same note as here, which is a G. That's all in it. There's your tonic again. Begin with another minor third on top of that. If you reach the root, the tonic, the A in this case, the next note is always going to be a minor third away. Another way of doing that, right there, or that's that. Your pentatonic scale, 5 tones, gives you a duty. Now that you know a little bit more about where these things are. may be true. The thing that I would say, now it's your job. Now that you know that these notes, this kind of shape exists, it is your job to find where those shapes are in other places. But that's not the only job. The real job starts when you're trying to phrase with them. And for that, copying licks is kind of like the status quo, you know. And yes, I'm adding a few things here and there. Because if you add one more note, it becomes the blues scale. That's the flat 5. And again, it's your job to figure out where all these things live, these little shapes. Actually, it would do that. It would do this. That kind of thing. So you're figuring that out. This note, all those notes are these notes. Well, what else is in there? And that's why, you know, you have shapes. These shapes will reoccur. You've seen this one. And then you've seen it here too. Works out pretty well. Oopsie. So yes, connect the shapes, exactly. Find those notes. Find where they exist. I'm going to have to check this. Sorry, guys. Things going on right here. Oh, I got messages from all sorts of people. Oh, my God. Zuhair, thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Geez Louise, man, you're awesome. Oh, shoot. Nathan Christopher. I'm sorry for the name drop there, but this is a guy I actually have to answer. Because everybody has bosses, right? He's one of them. So, come on. Oh, nope. Has nothing to do with me. Thank goodness. Well, it might actually. Pleasure applications and service deals. Kirk and Jeff are usually on there for help. John Reed at PepsiCo.com. Oh, where the device can be shipped. What device? Give me a second, guys. Sorry about this. I have to. It's like following an email trail, right? You have to figure out who started what and what's going on. ATR auto turn replenishment. ATR release sent to you automatically. Yeah, that's not even going to be me. I'm probably going to be able to help with that, but not a way. Okay, so in a different way, more familiar with the song. Flow better. Marvelous. Okay, on with the show. Sorry about that. No, small donations are absolutely welcome. You are such an appreciated person, I can't tell you. Narcissistic or not. So But no, I think the one thing that you really want to take from this is that any shape that you find anywhere on the fretboard, again, any shape that you find anywhere on the fretboard can be repeated in a different octave, and it's the same notes. It's a way of expanding your reach, like across the fretboard. Because just learning this, it's all fine and good, but what do you do with it? So if I'm just... You know, where are you over there? D? Sure, I guess. well, you could... Yeah, you could do all sorts of crap like that if you wanted to. But don't stay in one spot. That's the thing. You really want to move it around. You want to open it up a little bit. You know, whatever you want to do, you can do it. That's move it around, open it up, expand your horizons. You know, play weird shit. It's fun. Play different notes. Why not? Make it fun. Try to play better than me, but yeah, that's better. You can do Chris Polan-esque type of things. That whole. Can't really play like him, but that's all. But no, so I'm hoping what I'm doing is helpful to you, because if I learned pentatonic this way, it would have been better for me than just going every time somebody played a riff in A. What are you playing? Sure, you can play it fast when you can play it fast. Is that all you're going to do? You know, the whole Johnny B. Good thing? Or Beatles thing, you say you want a revolution or whatever, yeah. You know, what are you going to do? Take it around. Take it around, move it around, you know, play around, enjoy the shapes. But there's more to it than that. Mess around. Figure those shapes out. Figure it out across the fretboard. See where they live. This way you'll get to know notes and not be stuck in a box, right? No one wants to be stuck in a box. So let's see. You're improvising over a backing track in the key of C, for example. The key of C has C major, D minor, E minor. So you could use the D minor, E minor, etc. scales anytime. Yes. I'm going to swallow that but. You have to follow chords in the backing track or play D minor. Okay, so you can play whatever you want as long as you stop in the right places. Because playing is more about stopping than it is just playing scales. So if I was to be playing C, let's just do some chordal stuff, okay? Let's see here. Me, and do C major. So. Pretty good. We're gonna have to play F now. Sounds kind of boring. Groovy. Let's get that lead tone back so I can be cool. Anytime, man. Anytime. This is so unlike me. Yes, yes. Kirk, where art thou? I am right here. I'm being as German as humanly possible with my chordal scales. But this is a 1-4-5 progression. So you're playing now in C major. And I want you to pay attention to this very carefully. I am just going to play C Dorian. Not C, I'm sorry. B Locrian. Because you can, okay? It's the 7th scale degree of C major, but I wanted you to notice this, that it didn't matter that I was playing Locrian in B. Why? Because it's all the same notes as in C major. It just starts from the 7th, just like you said. Now, because it started from the 7th, and this is going on underneath, it sounds just like C major. Because it's C major. Doesn't matter. I'll play A Aeolian now. Fuck that up, but still, you get the general idea. Now, if I was to continue on with this, I would just continue to prove that all 7 scales, when played relatively to the tonic, is only going to produce sounds that sound like this, because it's the chords behind you that lock you in. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and really screw with you, I would play something that's completely wrong, and I would play it with the scale that corresponds with each individual chord. So this is C major, right? Let's do F major. Back to C major. G major. Doesn't really change it too terribly much, but it does change it to a degree, because what you're doing at that point is you're literally playing the same scale as the chord. But you're not locked into those specific scales. All you're locked into is something with a root, a major third, and a 5th. And that's all. So root, major third, 5. Root, major third, and major third, 5. That's it. That's all you're locked into there. So you can do all sorts of things with that. So if I wanted to play a harmonic major, for instance, and then do it again up here, and so forth. I mean, I can. That's the whole point of it. Harmonic minor would work fine. Sounds a little less hippy-dippy, but it will work. It'll bend the ear a little bit, because this So all I'm really referencing, though, is to stop in the right places, because like I said, you can play whatever you want. All the notes that are in C major are in C major. The scale shapes will help you connect one to the next, yes. Learning them separately is a grand idea, but just know that the only thing that matters is a tonal center, and that's established by, I'm making that point now, the only thing that matters is the tonal center that is established by the chords in the background. That's it. So whatever you play on top of it, it can be wrong. It can be, especially if it doesn't contain any of the notes that are actually in there. So let's say this is C major, right? Let me play C flat major, B major, and I'll show you how wrong it can sound. And doesn't that sound bad? Shift it up one, it sounds great. Shift it down one, it doesn't sound terrible. Okay, both of those are right and wrong. It's not the main note in the scale. It's what notes are defined by the chords underneath, and that's going to establish something like an overall tonality, a tonal center, and that tonal center is the thing that needs to be followed. So again, given the notes that we have here, if we just played three notes instead of chords. We can establish that instead. Okay, so let's say same C and F and G, okay? And we'll just go... Oh, we won't do that. So I've only established that there are three notes here. That's it. They all bounce off of C. So, yeah. I can play all sorts of stuff. It all works really nice, doesn't it? Let's change it up a little. We're Dorian now, baby. Back to, major. But the point I'm making is that these things right there will establish what you can do. But it doesn't dominate the tonality that you can inflict over the top of it. Like when I switch that to Dorian, it still worked because of the limited amount of notes that are being played right now. So the less notes you have... How did I change it up a little? I changed it up a little by flattening two notes, and I basically turned it into a Dorian thing instead of a major thing. So, yeah, well, modes, again, are established by the tonal centers kind of mostly beneath. The less notes you have behind you, the more free you are to establish those tonal centers creatively, like with melody over the top of it. But the tonal centers are still going to exist. So if I establish this, for instance, with those three notes... I'm just playing C pentatonic. Are you going to call it C pentatonic? No, you're going to call it C major, and you can say that it's got pentatonic overtones, but it's never going to be in the key of pentatonic, which is just a chord. So, if I wanted to play it in C... all sorts of things. That's the thing, you can keep it weird. The less stuff you have behind you, the more you can be creative with it. Let me stop that for now. And just try to give you my personal understanding of modes in the sense of tonal centers in a more, kind of compacted way. The notes you're playing related to the notes that you're playing over in like the thirds and the stuff like that, the chords that are, being played underneath you, and the notes that you choose to stop on above them establish the tonal center. And it's as simple as that. So what's the tonal center for C major? It's this triad right here. If you wanted to, get a little creative about it, you can add the seventh to it. Oh, I think it's more jazz than classical. But jazz is kind of an extension of classical anyway. So if it wasn't for jazz, the modern classical movements would kind of cease to exist. Because that's kind of where it went. We still have, of course, composers for orchestra and whatnot, but jazz is where the music theory really went after impressionist composers. which was a logical extension of Romanticism, which was a logical extension of classical, which was a logical extension of Baroque, which was a logical extension of, earlier, period works and all that kind of stuff, early music. So you can analyze it with classical all you like, but okay, yes, that's good. That's pretty cool. So we're connected, you and I, but 30 seconds apart. You keep that in mind too. So okay, modes, scales and modes are the same. Chords fall out from the modes. Different mode. Weird, cool, but you can do it. What I was trying to say before, though, is the stopping thing. So if you know these chords, let's do the C major thing, the F major thing, which you can also play here. Yes, you can. Okay? Did you know those? Each note here are ideal for stopping. So when you're playing scales away, having a good old time with it, dude, too much, man. So when you're playing your scales, right? So Gambale modes, No More Mystery is pretty good. I agree with that. I also agree, though, that Satriani teaches them better than anybody else. So do you really understand the sound of a scale, which is the sound of a mode, because, again, they're the same, is to try to bounce them off of something. So if you're trying to learn, like, the sound of minor, which is very common, so let's not do that. Let's do something a little less common, which is still pretty common, the Lydian. Let's, bounce it off of E. Well, what notes are in Lydian? First, second, major third, sharp 4, 5, 6, major 6, major 7, octave. Excuse me. That's it. It's basically a major with a sharp 4. Okay? So that's minor. But yes, so what I would probably do is play it with one note. And I do this a lot. You'll hear this. Just drone an E. Well, I'm not actually. I'm playing myself, but still, because it's Lydian, it's going to sound like Satriani. But when I'm talking about things to pay attention to, what notes did I stop on the most? The third, the second, which is the fourth. In this case, it's a sharp fourth, because the sharp fourth really establishes the tonality. Play with Satriani-ish type of things all the time, but you could also do it this way. Same notes. Or you can even do it. Yeah, sharp fourth key of E. It's essentially E major in this case, which can be played in all sorts of ways. Or, you know, maybe I should play it right. You know. Well, that was not correct, but this is correct for our personal thing here. It's the same as playing B major over E. But don't stop there. Play other notes, see what you get. No, I never did. Zuhair, I am a lick library course. But that's a joke. But this is Lydian. This would be Phrygian. Which is just C major over E. If you wanted to play B major over E, that's Lydian. A major over E is Mixolydian. Same shit. Oh, bless your heart, man. I appreciate that. Well, there is a... Hey, Bill, what's up? There is a... if you wanted to throw me something on PayPal, that would be cool, too. I've got that at least up there for tip purposes in the description. But, yeah, because the no monetizable thing, I don't know when that's ever going to take place. But, man, you are very appreciated. Thank you very much. Even for the thought, that's awesome. So, I mean, we can keep screwing around with that kind of thing, though. So, you know, like I was saying, B major over E, it's Lydian. These are different ways of thinking about it. E Lydian. So what's another one we can mess around with? E harmonic minor. Well, that's pretty easy right there. That's just E harmonic minor over E. Simple as that. But there's another way of thinking about that. You can basically think G sharp 5 major over E, if you wanted to do it that way. There's so many other ways of looking at it, but everything over one note really establishes the tonality of the deal. So what's another one? Let's just throw another one out there. What if I played, bear with me on this. Excuse me. Why, it be diminished, E diminished, and it sounds completely weird. What if I played it this way? E minor. Very good. What about this? Actually, well, that's Locrian. But to get the idea of the sound of the thing is to play like the scale over a drone note. So that's just one way of doing it, right? My personal opinion is that the way Satriani teaches it, which is that's the way Satriani teaches it, is the best way to really understand what the sound of a thing is. To establish it further, pay attention to the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. And figuring out no chemistry between them. Well, it's like hearing two people not hearing each other. Well, oh, for these different things? Yeah, well, Locrian is kind of a funky thing anyway. That sounds great. It's Phrygian. Flat that note. There's no fifth. It's a flat 5. It's an inherently weird and unstable kind of a scale. You can think of it this way. It's F major over E. And that makes it sound weird. Because it's weird. It's an odd thing. But you can think of it that way. But just, move things around. Try things over drones. The more notes you play beneath you, the more you're locked into a tonality. So if I, instead now of just playing an E, that I'm playing an E and, let's say, a C. 1, 4, 5, 7, good places to stop in any, always. I'm not talking about fret numbers. That would kind of lock you in something too, right? But in fact, that would lock you into Phrygian, or Phrygian dominant. But the first, the fourth, the fifth, and the seventh are almost always good places to stop. If you wanted to establish the sound, the first, the third is very, very good. And if you wanted to establish a little bit more of a pull, you could also stop on the 2. So I'll give you an example of that. So I'm going to go ahead and go up here a little bit. 1, 3. Play bad vibrato. Bad vibrato. There we go. So root. Flat 7. Not always good to stop there. But you can to establish tonality. There's your 4. Root, third, 4, 5. 5 is a great place to stop. Just change this thing. So from there, there we go. Thanks, tremolo. So you are talking about scale degrees in any key, yeah. So let's try that second again. Kind of gives it a little bit more of a, a feeling to it, a different kind of a feel. If I was playing it in major. Gives it a bit more of a feel like you want to go someplace else. It's kind of to me, it's not called a leading tone, that's your 7. But to me, the supertonic kind of makes me want to take it somewhere. And hang out for a minute and just kind of move it either back home or to the 5th. Maybe even a flat 7. But you always kind of want to pull it around and take it home, right? So it's kind of fun. But when I'm talking about like scale degrees to stop on, I'm literally talking about the chords that you're playing over. So if I'm playing over C major, I'm going to want to stop on the C, the E, and the G, and maybe the B, depending on context, because you don't always want to have that sounding there. Unless you're trying to create some sort of a tonality that is involved with. A little pang of sadness in the happy. it up. I really need to work on that. Band called America. Hey, Stu, what's up? But that's all I'm saying is those are the notes you want to stop on the most. Outline the chord that you're playing. So C major. C is going to work. Stop on E. All right, that's great. Let's stop on G now. Seems to all work really, really well. We'll stop on the 5th and then the 7th. Sounds pretty good, though. Pretty nifty. But that kind of should give you an idea about it. So when I go to F, you can also use F tonalities here. And what's in an F? F, A, C. The 7th would be an E. So over F, let's play that. There's our 7. And on that would be flat 5. Pretty nifty, don't you think? G major is pretty simple as well. G, B, D, F sharp. I'll just leave those open. There's our C, for that's the 4. There's our 3. Keeping in mind the key that we were playing in a second ago, which was C major. What's the D to this? But the 5. Sounds like the safety dance. Yes, you should. You should make some music. It would be awesome. So there's your 5. Let's do another one, though. Let's do the 3, which is B. Maybe don't start on it, but... Let's do the 7th, which is F sharp. Which would actually take us out of key. So if we wanted to stay in key, it would be a flat 7, because this is the dominant chord, and the dominant chord has a major 3rd and a flat 7 in it. Not exactly. Yeah, let's try that again. Cute, huh? But all of this is discretional. Do you want to do those kind of common things? You totally can. There's nothing against it. I do it all the time. Everybody does it all the time. And we still love it. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you wanted to be a little more creative with it, you could try adding things that don't belong or subtracting things that do. So, for instance, if I did go ahead and play the C major thing, let's go ahead and play it without the 5th. Ever. What's the 5th of C major? G. No! Almost played it. Right there. So... And in fact, I'm playing that off the 4th, so that makes it Lydian, so... Makes it a little more interesting. Spices it up just a little bit, right? Doesn't it? Let's add another note. Let's add, you know, just for giggles and all that kind of stuff. Let's add a, let's add a flat 3. Because we can. And already we've expanded the possibility of sounds. Oh, okay, so... I picked up a bit of music theory here and there, and I learned a lot of it wrong until I met a man named Kevin Wire. And Kevin changed my life because he actually knew what he was doing, and he knew how to convey it to me in a way that I might understand it. And in fact, most of the time I was memorizing it until it finally clicked. But after a while, you know, it's going to do that. But Kevin Wire was my ticket to music theory madness. I don't think he's with us anymore, which is really, really too bad. And he was my mentor, and I absolutely loved the guy. If you can imagine Steve Vai or Joe Satriani masquerading as someone as kind-hearted as like maybe a Bob Ross or Mr. Rogers, and soft-spoken too, just like that. That's the kind of fellow we're talking about. Absolute musical genius and a powerhouse guitar player. If there ever was one, he is a genius at it. And he knew what he was doing. He was a first-year graduate, well, first year, while within the first couple of years of the opening of what's now known as GIT, back when it was just MI in the guitar department. And they called it Berkeley West because they really wanted, it was the Berkeley guys came over to the West Coast that wanted to open up, you know, a college over there. And so he was like within the first couple of years he graduated from there. So he knew what he was doing. By a long shot, he knew what he was doing. It was quite a remarkable thing to know him. And I had the benefit of taking lessons from him for a year when I was 18. And he kind of sent me away saying that I pretty much taught you everything I can teach you for now. And that's that. And then a lot of his stuff started to make sense later on. And when it started to make sense later on, and I felt kind of like stumped about a few things, like I needed to go back to kind of relearn some of the stuff that I forgot. We just went in new directions. He also taught me an appreciation for listening for, well, Randy Rhoads started this, but Kevin really solidified it with music history, is when you're listening to somebody, you can try to listen for their influences and see who they listen to. And that's really kind of cool to do. But that's how I learned it. I basically got it from Kevin, and then I pursued it on my own. But you can't just take something that somebody else gives you and then move on with it and call it good. You have to take it and try to figure it out, you know, in your own way that it makes sense to you, and then try to figure out if you were to teach yourself it again, how would you do it? And, you know, now knowing now what you know, what would you have taught yourself if you were teaching yourself back then? How would you be able to convey it in a way that you might be able to understand it better, faster? And so for me, it was octaves. Octaves is like the key to everything. And playing over things like, you know, the tonal center deal, understanding what's being played beneath what it is that you want to play, that helps tremendously. Knowing where to stop and how to stop. Oh my gosh, how to stop. You know, what are you going to do? You can do that. Well, how about that? Now, what was it you did? Well, what the heck is this in comparison to this? It's a 6. That's great. What's a flat 6? What do you know? But would you want to stop like this? Yeah, probably. You can do all sorts of stuff like that just as a surprise factor. But, you know, what catches your ear? I guess that's the best question. What catches your ear? What makes you go, wow, that was neat. I got to rewind it and do it, you know, listen to it again. I think the last thing I listened to that really did that was a band named Twilight Force, power metal. Thanks, Christina, wherever you are. She said, listen to this, and it was great. I'm not going to duplicate it. But the guy basically did some stuff that made me kind of go like, wow, you know, holy crap, I've not really heard that in this context before. It's power metal. But imagine he's just, you know, kind of cruising around and doing these, you know. And then all of a sudden you hear, you know, type of thing, how that type of thing. And I was, whoa, you know. Not heard that. I mean, I've heard like type of thing before from like Guthrie Govan, but this kind of thing just kind of knocked my socks off, and I was really, really taken aback. I mean, it's kind of Michael Romero-esque with the whole. How would that go? I can't really do it as he does it. Type of deal. I mean, really, it's kind of outstanding. But what bends your ear? That's the best question. What notes do you hear stacked on top of whatever it is that's being played that makes you go, ooh? And then another thing would be what causes the most tension to make you want to take it home really quickly. So like with Marty Friedman, the cliche is to bend from wrong notes. If we're playing something in a more melodic context besides pentatonic. Nah, I can't do that. Let's try it this way. Sending you a backing track? I mean, I probably could. What are you interested in? I've heard you play. I know what your level is. I think that you would probably benefit most from something that would make you play in an uncomfortable way. So for you, probably something like this. Well, this establishes a tonality right away. Basically D major over G. Well, it's also kind of a take on what I already played for the last time I did a guitar part zone review, which was for the Demon. That's kind of a Demon in Lydian. This whole Demon in Lydian thing. And you can do all sorts of things with that. E is not really common. A transition, but you can do it. But that makes it kind of weird. But it also locks it in a kind of a place. Where are you going to take it? Which if you go to E and still play this, you're now playing in Dorian. So you can do all sorts of stuff with it. But that's the fun part. Play around. Use your imagination. What do you want to do? If you wanted to do really common stuff, you could... So right there I just modulated. I transposed. Because that really not there. So, that's the part about having fun. You can take things and do something called what is that? Oh my gosh. Well, Satriani calls it the pitch axis, but it should be known as relative pitch modulation. So, yeah, G to E, but that's G Lydian to E, which kind of pops you in a different key for just a brief amount of time because you're going down to a sixth. So, that's, G being the center, usually you would go from like E to G. That's much more common to the ear. For instance, G to E all the time. Okay? You can go somewhere else, because you're going to need to take it somewhere else. Let's go to D after that. Actually, let's do it that way. We can just do all that. All right. Yes, I can. C diminished. Oh no! That's E, F sharp, G, A, B flat, B, then take it right back to C. So, I think something like that. Yeah. That's it. There. No. How did that go? Yeah, something like that. Oh, thanks, Bill. Yeah. Yeah. First two notes in the melody? No, they're not. They're a fourth. Close, though. Yeah. Well, I haven't even touched that in years, so I don't think I've played it since I was, 21, 2, something like that on the regular. I used to know quite a bit of it, but I never learned the whole thing. I learned more of Lords of Karma. That... I love that one. Listen carefully. That's relative pitch modulation at its finest. And then I'm going to screw it up. No. Yeah, see, I'm going to screw that. Notice how that changes. That's a lovely scale, by the way. but really. No. No, it's great stuff. Don't get Reen. I will try not to. I don't know what Reen is, but I'll try not to get that. So that's not Satriani. Ooh, my bum. Excuse me. Yeah, still got the residual crap in there. But that Lords of Karma, good stuff. Really, really cool. That's another Satriani one. I mean, you know, we get the old-fashioned. Let's see. Yeah. Something like that. Oh, Rian, nothing. So don't get nothing. It was like Richard Marx don't mean nothing. I want to figure that out now. So I don't want to say something overused, nada, zilch, whatever. Oh, well, nada and zilch is not exactly overused in these parts. Another really good way of establishing your tones is to actually, you don't think you like matte guitars. A gloss looks, well, it depends on, you know, the lighting. In the dark, they all look the same. I love natural finishes too. I really, really do. Most of the guitars that I've built had some sort of a natural finish on it because it's the most unique kind of finish you can possibly have. Why would you cover up that beautiful wood? Well, sometimes you need to. But otherwise, why would you cover it up? If it's a gorgeous piece of wood, why paint that? I mean, that's almost a sin. Let's go for... let's do something like that. So that's kind of just shifting, really, but you usually don't get a color picture. You know, I'm telling you, man, Baba Bluey is very special. I cannot get rid of him. He is a nice guitar. I like this very much. It's a good instrument. I may go blue, like I said before, on the knobs and switch tip, but, you know, aside from that, you know, just blued out. This is a guitar that's been blued out. Yes, sir, it is. Well, it could be a misspelling of mox, as in mocking, type of thing, or mox, M-O-X, as in like fish mox, or amoxicillin. Mox, a maw would be a jaw or a mouth of some sort. Mox, play on words possibly. Increased in value, and that you can exchange it at Guitar Center for an SG or a Les Paul. No. New guitars always lose value for the first 20 years. Always. There are extraordinarily rare exceptions to this. Yeah, see, there you go. Oh, you mean nope as in like my guesses? All right, well, that's fantastic. I'm going to have to ask you more questions then. There's that residual crud again. But as far as guitars are concerned, this guitar is basically worth most the same value that I bought it at. And I bought it used for like $400. So, yeah. You got it in 2010. Yeah, wait another 10 years. Well, wait another 5 years and see what winds up starting to happen to the price. The closer you approach 30, it'll slowly ascend from the 20 to 30 year mark because 20 years is vintage. So in 2030, you're going to have a little bit of an ascension. After 2040, your price will, especially if it's in good condition, in original condition, will start to increase a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. But a lot of people know about these guitars now, and because of the oversaturated market, they may not go up in value as much as like the originals were, for instance, as far as like percentage of increase. So, and also it depends largely on colors, which you buy, when you buy it, exactly. What is there any provenance? Did you get it used from somebody else who was famous? It depends on all sorts of things. So, oh, Marshalls, the sound of rock. If I had a son, which I know, and I couldn't name my daughter Ezra Marshall, it didn't work. Satriani did a thing that's pretty kind of neat back in the day with like Big Bad Moon. But it's not just that. I think he actually stops there. Temu JVMs. Yeah, there you go. You can just, there. So my kids take my side. That's not even a thing, man. My kids just crush that it's happening. So, there's no sides to take. She's just sad she's not losing us. That what she said it as this is that her entire family dynamic is that she's known in her entire life is now completely gone. So, it's completely, upside down for her. And it sucks. It just sucks. So that's what's wrong. That's where she's at. Well, hello, Dwight. How you been? You arrived just in time to see me miss a note with amazing skill and ability. Twice. What am I getting? Focal dystonia? Nope, I have no sons. I have a son-in-law. He should be home from work soon. Oh, thank you. I'm just playing around with Baba Bluey this evening. Would that be, sir, a Laney Ironheart let's see, Studio 15. That's what I'm playing through. That is what I'm playing through. I'm going to get those tones remind me of Johnson Satchel. Oh, thanks, bud. That's kind of what I'm going after. Well, kind of. I'm really... the Kirk's not so secret is that I'm trying to emulate sounds either that I've heard from my amp setup on like a Neural DSP type of thing, or that I'm always chasing something that Neural DSP has, you know, put before me, and I'm like, I've got to get that sound in real life, and so, you know, I chase it. So the first one was the Plenty plugin, which I almost have duplicated right now for one particular setting called the Knight's Lead. And this is really close to it. It's a lot more gain, but it's really, really close to it. And I like it quite a bit. So I'm aware that they're collaborating, but I haven't heard anything from it. The other thing would be, the one that I got most recently is the Morgan Amp Archetype. Or no, it's not an Archetype, but the Morgan Amp Suite from Neural DSP. And I got to tell you, that I just don't want to play anything else but that. And this is not the same, but there's a fidelity there that's very close if I did this. See that? I turned that off. Let's turn the level up on this a little and the gain up on this. There we go. So, for the plumes by itself, this is close. That's really close. Let's turn up the high end just a little bit. And so that's really close to it. So what I'm really, I'm sorry, another $5 and I'll tell you. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I've been chasing, the sounds that I've been chasing have been sounds from like Neural DSP plugins that I've really, really fallen in love with. Like the Archetype Plenty, which I've pretty much shilled from the beginning of my streams, or like, you know, get the Archetype Plenty. It's fantastic. It's the most versatile. It's the craziest thing. It's amazing. And I'm not joking. And, you know, when it's on sale for $50, there's no reason not to get it. Honest to God, the Plenty and the X version of it as well. It's so good, it's not funny. And the one sound that I keep going back to on that, and I've played it in a couple of videos, is it's called Knight's Lead. And it's very clear, but you know, it still has a lot of gain to it, but it's not a lot of gain. It just sustains really, really well, and it sounds great. So the other one that I've been chasing lately, which is what I'm emulating here, is the Morgan Amp Suite from Neural DSP. It just sounds so good it's funny, and I can't stop playing it. So whenever I'm playing like this, for instance, and I'm plugged into the computer, which I'm not now. I mean, I kind of am through microphones, but that's what I'm playing. So my goal lately has been like, all right, how do I make that sound? This is. Really responsive to dynamics, extremely good, you know, for touch. You can just really kind of. So would I say that? Grab yourself a good mic. And by good, I mean just your average old SM57. Slap it on that, the speaker, and route that straight in. This way you still get the sound of the speaker. You understand, you're hearing what you're hearing in real life. So you're self-monitoring. And then run the microphone into your preamp. And the microphones are kind of cheap. SM57s go on sale all the time for like $60. Go for that. You're good. So what you got there? Yeah. This is a great ear for amps tones. He's a natural for that. I am not surprised. He's a good dude. So going on from this. So when I play, is it the sound of the amp or the sound of the amp plus a plug-in? Okay, I don't run any plugins at all on OBS. So there's no plugins going when I'm playing live. It's all amp and what I have on my pedal board. That's it. So for instance, I've been playing my Ironheart on clean tone pretty much this whole stream. The only kind of gain you're hearing is from two different pedals that I finally figured out how to use in a way that makes the sound I want to hear. So I don't need any more pedals. I've got it. This is my sound. I'm really, really happy with these. So, yeah. The delays you're hearing, if you're hearing any of them, are coming from it's called an emanator from, or is it actually? Sorry, the Constellation. Is it the Constellation? No, I was right. It's an emanator from Pigtronics. That's the delay. So, you get it now. I don't know about OBS other than someone recommending it, using it for gaming videos. Yeah, a lot of people use it for that. I'm using it for this. So. But I just love that. So clear. Kind of, got a lot of crispness and, balls. Don't be afraid to bend. Pretty much what I've got here. So the gain on the clean channel is 2.5. I do have a little bit of, messing around with the EQ, but yeah, the gain on that is 2.5. It's not very loud. The post gain on that is at like 3 or 4, but that's pretty much it. So the gain on the rhythm isn't that big either. So let me turn this off. Rhythm channel. Again, it's on a 1 watt setting. Now that's the Ironheart by itself. But again, it's on like 4 for the gain. Ain't much. Turn it to lead. What's the pedal your friend uses? I'll at least check it out for sure. So we get a lot of gain there. You go back to the rhythm here, hit boost. See, it's a very useful thing. It's not a matter of much. It's a matter of what tones do you need and what do you want to hear. That's all. So for me, most of the time, I'm good with this. Nice and quiet. And that pedal right there is just the, what is that? The extra special overdrive from the Mojo Hand Company. Very nice. Get it for about $100 used. Very good. And then when I want a little more oomph to it and a little more clarity, add the plumes. Just a little bit of gain and a little bit of extra volume. So it's called a Dutch pedal. There's no other name of it. My God, it is called the Dutch. And it's an overdrive. Treble bass gain level. That's kind of what I have on the extra special. That does not sound bad. It sounds really good. Damn. Yeah, it sounds really good. Okay, so we got a punch switching gauge now. Yeah, okay, I might have to get one of those. That sounds really good, dude. It's kind of Marshall-y, but it's kind of like Marshall-y in a Jeff Beck sort of way, and I really, really dig that. That's got a lot of like compressed, not oversaturated clarity and some good, you know, kind of meaty ball type of things. Yeah, man, that sounds really nice. Thank you for the recommendation. So let's see how much I'm going to be out for on average. Let me not put that in my mouth. That. So shopping. Oh, God. All right. Yeah, that's going to be expensive. So a regular Dutch will run you $199.99. It very well could be a tip of the hat to our famous friend from Deutschland. No, not from Holland, Eddie Van Halen. It's very possible. But it also could be a football guy, and Dutch. But they have a Dutch 2 with a few more knobs. And that makes me interested in that, which is a limited edition. And it's $255. And I'm getting divorced. Shit. And you can stack them. Oh, I see. It's literally two Dutches put into one pedal. Really? All right, well, check this out. Boom. Reverb.com. Dutch 2 limited. Bam, bam, bam. The original one is here. Also Reverb here. The one I was looking at a video for was black with some silver on it. Yeah, go for it. Not now. Wait till the divorce goes through and I have some money again. But, I mean, look, all right, so hold on. Yeah, I don't want to sell any guitars. So I got a guitar for sale over at Music 6, and if that sells, I'll grab one of these. Guaranteed. So if you guys see me playing a Dutch here and there, no, overdrive is an overdrive. So let's quantify what these things mean. And go back to me not being in a floating guitar cloud paradise. An overdrive simply takes the drive from your guitar and amplifies it a little bit more. So it's driving the preamp gain just a bit. You know, it's adding an extra layer of, you know, juiciness and crispness. Let's do a case in point. I'm only using overdrive pedals, by the way. So here's clean. It's just a nice clean neck pickup. Let's fourth position. It's cute, huh? That's parallel, by the way. That's why it sounds like a telephone. It's great. But this, let's add a little overdrive. Whoop. All that did is kind of thicken it up a little bit. Give it some juice. Aw, Bill, you take it easy, man. Oh, thanks, dude. Once again, clean. Overdrive. I'm just goofing. I don't know what I'm playing. See. So that's overdrive. You can keep overdriving it more and more and more. This is still an overdriven amp. All the overdrive really does, yeah, you need a pedal for that. Here's why. Not all pedals sound the same. Some pedals change the character of your amp just a little bit. The speaker is the thing that really matters the most. But and of course your hands and all that kind of stuff. But a pedal can give you a different type of fidelity that your amp may or may not be able to do. And besides, I like variety. And if I'm talking about variety in this sense, like, all right, so I have an overdriven amp now. What is that really emulating? It's emulating like an old Marshall that's cranked up and that the power tubes are really, really hot. That's what that emulates. A distortion is not the same thing. And I'll explain that in a second. But this is like a sound of an old Marshall that's turned up to 10 and it's been on for a little while. Like 1960s, right? That's what it sounds like, and it's loud as hell, by the way. So, but that's what that sounds like. It's overdriven. A distorted amp puts more like compression and gain into the preamp and really kind of gives it a little bit of a sizzle. So this extra special overdrive is more of a distortion pedal than an overdrive pedal. But it's still kind of an overdrive. I will check out the channel. Thanks, dude. Now, you want to hear distortion? That's where amp gain really shines. Now, there are distortion pedals, but I think that they kind of fuzz it up too much. Distortion, for me, lives best inside the amplifier itself. So, on with this, on with the boost. Now we're on the rhythm channel with the boost on. And that's definitely a distorted sound. It's got, you know, the peaks kind of just leveled off and almost like you've just made a wall of tone. It's all limited up there, and that's that. Much more fuzzy, distorted. But it'd be something that you would expect to hear. I literally use it for my job, yes. I have the Pro version, so DaVinci Studio. I don't remember that really, but there's your difference between that kind of thing. So the free version is amazing. Yes. Yeah, I used to use the free version, but there's something different between Mac users and Windows users that they kind of get you on. The predominance of the marketplace is still Windows. Mac only takes up about 20% of the share, maybe. The thing they have for Mac that's a little bit cooler is they have natively unlocked GPU rendering. And because they've unlocked GPU rendering there, Windows has a little bit more control. They can say, no, you can't do that. They, on Windows, basically make you buy the full version in order to get your GPU to render for you. Otherwise, it's stuck with CPU rendering. And that's where the free version really kind of starts to suck. Because if you're doing like 20-minute long videos and you're stuck with CPU rendering, even if you got a real screaming CPU, it ain't going to be nothing compared to what your GPU can do. As a case in point, going from a 3060 to a 4070 video card at work, this is not even like super pro stuff or anything like that, but that's what I've got. With GPU rendering enabled, I went down from, let's say I've got a 10-minute video. It takes about 10 minutes to render. Now it takes 2. So, that's an amazing difference. And before that, CPU rendering, with GPU rendering turned off, that same video will take 30 minutes to make. So, RTX 4060, very nice video card. Very nice video card. The advantage of GPU rendering is speed. Absolutely speed. Let's say GPU rendering here, it's a little different with an AMD. The NVIDIA actually does do it better, but that's really difficult for me to say as a dyed-in-the-wool AMD guy. But GPU rendering on my AMD still, kicks the socks off of what I used to have, so that's nice. But I can take any of my videos and have them, any of the videos that I've ever done right now, I can render them and upload them. Like the Diary of a Madman thing was a real long one because it has so many shots in it. Sorry, my eye itches. But that one probably took 20 total minutes to render and upload. With the stuff that I have at work, I could probably have gotten that done in about 10 minutes because it is significantly faster. The 4070 is much quicker than what I've got, which kind of equals out to a 3060. So 10-minute video done in 10 minutes. No, 10-minute video done in 2 minutes. But I have it connected to YouTube and my internet's slow, so it's a 10-minute video that's rendered and uploaded in 10 minutes. So, yeah, it takes a bit. Yeah. But, I can literally get the video done in 2 minutes flat. It's pretty neat. It renders the daylights out of it. It's really, really cool. So make sure that if you have a Mac, make sure that GPU rendering is turned on. If you have a Windows, which sounds like you have Windows, that's great. You might want to try the Pro version because holy crap, what a difference does that make? It's amazing. So, granted, it's $300 for a license for 2 licenses, but you know what? It's cool. No. Warhammer Total War, that would be a little beyond my scope. I think that there are too many diehards on the Warhammer front that know too much about its, crazy, like religiosity, that it deters me from wanting to play that. And as far as like the older games, like, the top-down, like real-time strategy games, I'm not an RTS guy. You may notice I play linearly a lot. And so I'm much more of like a first-person shooter kind of a guy. And, even third-person adventure gives me pause. But no, man, I haven't played a video game in a long time. So I appreciate your putting that out there, but I don't think that's going to happen. But I used to play a lot of World of Warcraft, a lot. But I also used to play a lot of Just Cause. I'm a PC gamer after all, so, Rainbow Six games. No, I've never really touched the Rainbow Six games. I tried it a long time ago, and I ran into something that I just couldn't fathom not having as a jump button. So that was a long time ago. I think, a long time ago. But no jump? Are you freaking, an Atari game? I mean, who doesn't have a jump button? But, the first Rainbow Six game I ever played, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. So, yeah, first-person shooter is fun. I'm no good anymore. I used to be very competitive. When I was a player, I was playing, a lot. I was playing, like, Tribes 2. Ranked 400 worldwide. I was Skippy. Look me up. I don't know if they still have records or not, but I killed a lot of people, and I capped a lot of flags. That was pretty great. And then Tribes Ascend came out, and I never finished below the top 5, so I was still pretty good, but I was way too competitive for my own good, and I didn't like who I became. And they ruined the game anyway with several terrible updates. Yeah, why would you need to jump up and down? Because it's a freaking video game. You play it to escape. You don't play it to emulate real life unless you're playing like a racing sim. So, why not have that? So I used to love real-time strategy. So the thing about real-time strategy is I've noticed that there are some jobs that are really, really, really keyed to people who play those. And if they if a company picks a person that doesn't do it, they won't do as well as somebody who does, because they already are like resource management, top down. This is, how they think. They think this way. And it would be really, really good for them. I did a job a while ago for the company that I work for, and oh my God. Give me a second. I just realized that I let my dog out like 3 hours ago. Good dog, Dad, huh? I'll be right back. Holy crap. Here you go. You must have had a good time out there. Well, that's a wild guess that you had a good time out there. He didn't bark once. She must have. It's been a nice day today too, up in the Pacific Northwest. So she must have been having a great time. Here, let me take it out the distortion. Not really into that sort of thing right now. More of a boosted, clean gain kind of a guy. And the volume down. There we are. Very nice. Now you behold the empty room in silence. Keep in mind, man, vibrato matters. Even if it's done by a vibrato bar. If it's not, oh no, it's not. Not at all. Let me explain. What am I doing? Little shove. That's all. So that's what you need to work on if that's hard. Deja vu! No, it's B. No, it was C. Yeah. Yes. Something like that. Oh, it's been a long time since I played that, though. Long time. So, Behind Blue Eyes by The Who. Behind Blue Eyes is nice. No one knows what it's like. What would be good for you? Go ahead and do the, type of thing with it, but then just start going. Something like that. And just start figuring out the melodies, figure out the vocal melodies to it. It'll help tremendously. So that's, I mean, I'm just kind of goofing with it, but you get the general idea. So yeah, dude, Maiden's great. You get lots of choices. Oh, got lots of emails too. So yeah, or Zillow, new listing. Okay, I'm subscribing to you freaks. Forget it. Stop it. Is there unsubscribe? It's enough. How many a day? Too many emails from Zillow. Stop it. All right. What's this? Thanks, man. Jiminy Christmas, dude. Very cool. Once again. Anyway, yeah, back to, as I was saying. Oh, I'm far from it, dude. So it's all a matter of like elbow and wrist placement, okay? So in this case, I'm sitting, in my opinion, improperly. But this, I'm bending a whole step. Down. Let it fall back a little and then bring it up. Right? Cool. So with that, notice where my elbow went. Out. Easy. That puts me in a really good position to just kind of twist the baseball bat, right? No matter where I am, the elbow comes out just a little bit because it helps with the leverage. Every time. Something you don't like about scorpions, they do so many small here and there trills and frills whenever in their rhythm. You're just going to have to live with it. My preference for scorpions, besides the common stuff, is like, Big City Nights, stuff like that, with Matthias Jabs. But my preference for scorpions was largely Uli Roth based. And you're going to get a hard thing to play with a master level player in there and another person that's pretty okay that's playing right along. So I think the vibrato on the bends. So I think the vibrato generally, but I mean, always work on the vibrato. Don't let that go. Don't think you're ever good enough. Keep working on it. I can't stress it enough. I'm happy with my vibrato, but I'm never really happy with my vibrato. It could always be better. And you should always think about, not like just when you're singing, what kind of note would you emote that way, but how can you inflict pain? No. How can you affect emotion or your emoting better on a note? Whether it's just getting up there and not moving it, maybe going up a little bit and then going back down. And then the shake happens there. How wide? You want to go all the way back up? Do you want to shake it just a half step? Do you want to shake it just a quarter step? Do you want to take it down a little? All right, well, I'll play everybody out because I kind of got to get out of here too. I got a bedtime. Dear me. Way too much muting. Oops. Yeah, I'm done. Thanks everybody for shopping at Kmart. Thanks everybody for stopping in tonight, dude. So purple foam case actually. So yeah, it just looks blue from here, but you can see that there's a minor difference. So not too much, but I have a lot of blue lighting on right now, so it kind of fits the mood. But yeah, thanks all for stopping by. Thanks, Reza, again. Once I must say, Mr. Zuhair Reza, you are a very kind individual. You are a very generous individual, and I appreciate you. So my time here is done as well, and I hope everybody has a nice time practicing like crazy, trying to play very fast and playing faster at least than they already do. Work on your vibrato, and in the meantime, you know, as Jack Horkheimer used to say, keep looking up. Yeah, you have a great night, too. Thank you very, very much for showing up. I appreciate you. And I appreciate the tip on the Dutch. Oh, my God. I do not know when I'm going to get that, but at some point I'm going to get it. Like when I have a little bit of money again. So, yeah, and once I moved out, I might have a little left. So that might be nice. But guys, yeah, take care of yourselves and be well out there. Enjoy playing, for crying out loud. If you can't enjoy it, try to find a way to enjoy it. Try to find a means of enjoying it, or at least try to find why other people enjoy it, so you might enjoy it also. Don't make it so much work, but you know, always have fun when you're playing, and you'll do pretty well. It's like a stone, though. You know, a big rock you're trying to roll. You know, it takes all your effort at first, and then after you get it moving and rolling, it just takes a finger to keep it going. Guitars are like that too. If you keep up and keep at it, it gets easier. It always should be challenging, but it does get easier as you go. Especially with this pentatonic stuff. You enjoy that. But the sounds are almost infinite. It's kind of inherently microtonal with all those bends. You know, there's kind of locked into places, but, you know, I'm not hitting every single note. I'm hitting every note in between. And it sounds wonderful. Because that's your guitar, man. That's what it does. All right. Sell the wife. Well, that's I kind of already have, but I'm the one paying for it. So think about that. It's only costing us like $500, but it's still $500, and then on top of it, me moving, so that's $5,500 more. And yeah, it's really it's quite a thing. I hope it never happens to any of you guys. Take care of yourselves, and you know, if you got a wife, kiss her. If you don't, you know, dream about it. Take mine, please. Take care, everybody. And hopefully I'll see you again at some point in the near future. Probably not scheduled, but take it easy.